Okay, welcome back to another episode of Hit or Glitch, Edge of Creation. Do you guys remember where we left off last time? It's been a while.
My face was in my hands.
We
I think for
busted.
2 episodes.
We were fighting guys who like hats.
Yep.
Lots of hats.
Well, the fight hadn't started. You were interacting.
Yeah,
I believe
we just did a poker game.
Yeah.
I had either. No, I know what I'm about to do. We stopped just before
you stopped as you flipped the table.
I flipped the table and then grabbed the chandelier to pull it down.
Yep. So we stopped as the table was flipping, and that's basically the stop. Tune in next time moment is the table flipping up in the air.
Tune in next time.
Wonderful hats, most of them made of fur, flipping through the air. Poker chips going this way and that, and cards flying. In fact, one of them might even go towards the camera.
Tune in next time
It's
to
the
find
chamber.
out if our team are able to win this fight.
So there are.
Yeah, I went all
remember-
in, we'll say.
There are about 6 of these soldiers, spirit soldiers, here in the room.
Mhm.
There's the 3 of you.
Well, he's in the doorway.
Yeah.
And he's sneaking around, and I didn't notice him, so he's doing stuff, and I don't even realize he's doing it.
I
Yeah.
was sitting next to you. I was passing you cards.
You were
Yeah, he was helping you with the game.
Yeah, but I wasn't. I was like, no, just let me do my own thing.
Yeah, I know.
Screw it,
I
just let me do my
Yeah,
own
when
thing.
you started handing me cards, that's when I noticed you.
Yeah. No, I walked in and said, hey, you guys didn't invite me, yada, 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 and sat down. They're like, oh, you're
Gotcha.
nothing because you don't have a fancy hat. So
Yeah.
fine, I'll just watch. And then I started feeding you the right cards, and you're just
All right.
and then you flipped.
I don't want to resolve this with combat. These guys are, while their weapons are in the room,
Mm-hmm.
they are currently unarmed.
Mm-hmm.
So am I.
And they're also...
It's a fair fight.
It's a fair fight. They're also fairly strong,
So am I. It's a fair
which
fight.
definitely you are. We're going to resolve this instead with something of a skill encounter.
Okay.
You guys basically need to overpower them and or convince them to not fight back and try to keep it quiet if you don't want to get discovered.
Well, I think the quiet went out the window when I flipped the table and yanked the chandelier off the ceiling, but
Yeah. So basically, you guys are going to be making some rolls at difficulty decided by your description. And if you guys can get enough successes over the difficulty, then you guys are going to basically subdue these guys.
Okay.
So to do this, I'm going to have you roll initiative, just so we can decide who goes first.
Right.
So your join battle. But that's just going to determine what order everybody's going in. What?
I'll start with 10, thank you.
Hold on.
You what?
10. I had two
Oh.
10s in my dice pool.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay, I'm going to use the
They were
blinding
all
battle
successes.
feint.
Wonderful.
Okay, what does that do?
I do Dex plus Stealth as my join battle, and I stealth before the fight begins.
Oh yeah, that one's good. I remember reading that one. I have since read a lot more of the book. now that it's summertime, and I'm not constantly teaching 3 different classes for 6 hours a day, I have a lot more time on my hands. 5? And you got 10 total?
Yep.
Holy crap.
All of my dices
Two
were
tens.
successes and 2
Oh.
of them were 10s.
Okay. Well, then you'll be going first, which is convenient since you're the one that started this.
Yes, it is.
Sorry, 5. So that's 5, 6, 8 total. Sorry, I forgot the plus 3.
It's not really relevant when you're all getting the +3.
So I've just flipped the table and ripped the thing down. I'm going to strength, athletics. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to I've ripped the chandelier down. And I'm pulling it over like two of the guys
All right.
and just tightening it down.
Just putting him in a barrel.
Yep,
Yep.
that works. That actually works really well. Go ahead and roll that. I'm gonna put the difficulty for most of these, I think, at 3. So if you can get more than 3 successes, the net hits will count.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does that count as 2 then? Since it's in there.
Yeah, it gets 3 net hits basically.
All right.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, you rip the chandelier down. There's a couple, like, you throw the table. A couple of the guys, all like, everyone turns to you like, what? And then you're just like, rip, rump. And they're just like sitting there inside of it like, what? You were winning.
He was about to lose.
Your turn now, Tim.
My turn. Okay, so I'm going to
It's a victory dance.
from my stealth position. I basically, when he flips the table up, I kind of like disappear behind him and like under his chair,
Okay.
and so all the stuff is like raining everywhere. And so I'm going to weave the needle and pass between like all the raining everything and him pulling the chandelier down, and pass right between the two guys that are being wrapped up in the chandelier, to come down on to jump between them and land on the guy behind them and smash him over the head.
Okay. So what were you planning on using for your...
Dodge, because I'm dodging all this stuff. And weaving
But
the
the dodge isn't what brings down. That's part of the stunt. That's not what brings the guy down. I mean, you can use an attack roll if you want to on this.
Mm.
You could use
Okay.
Dex plus Brawl or Dex plus...
Yeah,
whatever.
then melee.
Melee? All right. And you're trying to bring it down non-lethally, or you're actually trying to take this guy out?
Non-lethally, I guess. No, that's not my style. Yeah, I'm killing him.
Okay. All right. Well, you met the difficulty, but did not exceed it, so there's not going to be any net hits on that one. So yeah, you come down. You like are using, what kind of weapon are you using for this?
I'm using my short sword.
So you like plant that in his shoulder. He looks at it, and he looks at you, and he's like, "That's not very nice."
Like your hat. I'll take one of his hats.
No. Dan.
Think you can still make this peaceful?
Actually, yes, I can. I'm going to be using manipulation plus presence.
Okay.
Right. And I'm going to come around the corner, and in my best officer's voice, "What's going on here, then?" And basically, I'm going to be like, "Intruders? You were playing with intruders? You better keep this quiet if you don't want to lose your head." Giving you guys the opening to leave.
Okay.
I'll take care of this.
All right.
Okay, let's see this.
I hope you give me the hint to leave with you, because I don't think I would pick up on it.
Well, I'm going to be like, "Get out!" to you guys.
Oh, well, in that case, I might pick up on it.
If I am told, I might be able to realize what you're saying.
Well, he could be just, fronting it to give me a sneak attack.
Smack. Thinking about applying a charm to this?
Well, I have many motes committed right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember what exactly is committed.
Did you have the social one that gives you just +3 dice on all social actions.
Yeah.
So you got that.
I'm pretty sure you have the eyesight and whatever one increase.
Yeah, you had your sense.
I
increases.
didn't commit that one.
Oh, okay.
At least I'm pretty sure I
It's been about a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have the +3. Because I did that because I figured I was gonna have to lime our way out of this.
Yep.
Three.
All right. That also meets the difficulty, so it's a
That's
success, but it's not like you don't get any net hits on that. So like everybody comes to attention for a second. Like there's guys, with a handful of somebody's clothes, and they like stop, and then they just go back to punching. It's like one of them says, "Wait, he's not an officer. He doesn't have a big enough hat." Punch. So they're gonna make some brawl attacks on both of you guys, and somebody's gonna throw something at you.
Yeah.
2, 4, 6. Tim, what's your defense?
It's the better of parry or evasion.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now it is 5, I believe.
Okay. That's a miss. And then Dan, what's your defense?
3.
All right, he's got a net hit coming in at you. See, what would the damage be on a chair?
Actually,
Weapon proficiency chair?
No, he doesn't have weapon proficiency chair.
That's cheating.
That's just part of the stunt.
I have drifting leaf illusion.
What does that do?
Dodge attack equal to evasion. So I can add my evasion again. Right? Page 300.
Page 3. Successfully evades an attack roll bearing successes equal to evasion. No, that's if they tie you. I think that's the way that one's working. After the attack roll is made. Yeah, and he actually has a net hit on you. So, let's see, 3. That's one net hit. Actually. What's your soak?
6.
Yeah. No damage. The chair just breaks over your armor.
Sweet.
And you're not so fancy hat.
Scott.
Siku.
They didn't hit me.
No, they tried to swing at you, but I mean it was basically like a grab onto your like clothes and try to punch or whatever, but it was ineffective.
It was not very effective. Fancy hat man uses fist. It is not very effective.
I'm gonna pick up the guy that is trying to punch me.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna throw him at the guy that threw something at Dan.
Okay. You using brawl for this, or are you? Yeah, because to get a grapple on him is brawl.
Yeah.
One of your options, if you successfully get a clinch, is to throw them. So there you go.
Yeah. And yeah. Okay. So
Are you spending any essence on this?
I am not. With the accuracy of my unarmed, I have a die pool of 12.
Okay.
I might for the throw. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10
Okay.
successes.
Yeah. You got a grapple on him for the next. What's their defense?
It doesn't matter how long. I'm going to release the grapple by throwing him in a second.
For a good while. You got a grapple on him for
Long enough to throw him. That's all I
Yeah.
care about.
What was their defense? Evasion 2. Yeah. 4 parry. So yeah. For a good while. Good while.
Okay.
And then you're gonna throw him. Yeah, go ahead and make a athletics test on that. You can get a bonus to your dice pool equal to the number of rounds that you are giving up on this. And
So how many
that's
rounds?
gonna be you had 10. So
Yeah.
that's 6 extra dice. Or rather, five, I guess. because
5. Okay.
You're using the 1 round.
All right. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.
Isn't that
So
a
that's 4
Yeah.
that hits.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay. That works pretty effectively. You just lob this guy across the room. The other guy gives a brief moment of feigned surprise. He's like, ah! His teeth stick out. They both slam into the wall.
And then I'm going to turn at the guy that hit him and smile.
Like
There's only 2
he
left.
he shows a bit of like, oh no, but it's not a like fear, like it's just a uh-oh. To
Okay, so there's the last 2 guys, right?
sure.
Sure. Okay, so they're like trying to swing at me, picking up chairs, tossing stuff. I'm going to dodge with a purpose and get them to hit each other instead. So kind of the Jackie Chan, they're swinging at me and I'm just, whoop, bam! Oh man, why don't you throw an ally like that? What are you doing? Oh, come on! What are you doing?
One of them swinging, the other one swinging a chair. You duck. They both hit each other.
Or the Three Musketeers in Athos.
Yeah.
It's like, it's I'm using Dutch.
Okay.
Hey, would I get never mind. Would this count as tight spaces?
Yeah.
Cool.
Very much so.
I can count this as my dodge.
If you're in a
thing.
single room with me, it's a tight space.
Specialization is 1 dice?
Actually, it's yes. I think it's 1 die.
Yeah, okay. Two, three.
This seems
So
to be...
this is more like Men in Tights, where the sheriff cuts the rope and drops the chandelier on his own men.
Yeah, 3. Just 3.
No, he just dodges, and the guys, kind of hit each other, but ineffectively. Give each other a frown, and then turn to swing at the same time back at you, Tim.
Yeah.
All right, Dan. Otto Erickson. So they have dismissed your authority.
Everybody's dismissed your authority. Even your own allies.
No.
Hey, the guy hit me. What am I supposed to do? Just stand there and let him hit me?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. You've seen Trials, or Trouble with Tribbles,
Yeah.
and or Trials and Tribulations.
Yeah, both of those.
I'm going to
Are
use...
you going to pull furry animals out of your pockets?
Here, hold this. Oh no, there's too many of them.
I'm going to use Appearance plus Integrity to basically be the guy who originally sold the tribbles, where he's walking around the bar. He's collecting his drinks and he's walking through the bar fight. I'm basically just going to saunter through this thing.
And what is that gonna? How is that gonna help successfully resolve the situation?
It gets me out of it.
You could always
it gets a third of our party out of this.
You could always walk over and just like confiscate the weapons so that this doesn't get deadly.
Yeah, I guess I could do that.
Just to make sure it doesn't escalate.
I mean, it's the same thing. You're just picking up weapons instead of drinks.
Yeah. Just like...
Yeah.
Or you could be that old guy from the Pink Panther. Just pull up a chair and watch until everybody's unconscious.
There we go. 5. Yep, 5.
Yep. You keep it from escalating any further.
And I know what I'm gonna do if it comes around to me and we're still in this mess.
Well, I know what I'm doing next.
There's you've thrown the guys around and everything, you've tied them up and everything. It hasn't stopped them. I mean, they're definitely reeling, but they're still active.
That's fine. I'm just gonna go through and using strength.
Well, hold on.
Well, go ahead. Do your thing. You do you, boss.
They've started to organize. They're doing a little bit better at fighting together now. And
Well, yeah, since they're next to each other, two of them are in a chandelier, and I threw one in another one. I'm grouping them for them.
I think I know what I'm gonna do next.
they're gonna start throwing some attacks out at you guys. Tim, you said it was 5?
5.
That's 5. It hits you.
Ow.
What's your soak?
Final soak is 6. Wait, they tied with me?
Yeah. Do you have that same dodge charm?
Yeah. Activation successes on evade.
All right. One of them basically got up from the pile over there, crawled up the stairs, and like dove down on top of you and was trying to do like a power elbow drop, atomic elbow. And you use that dodge charm.
Uh-huh.
How much does it cost?
1 mode.
Just 1 mode. Okay. Yeah, it just comes and slams into the ground.
Oh, that must have hurt.
Oh! And then Scott.
Oh.
2. I don't think that hits you.
4.
Yep. The guys inside the barrel tried to like run up and kind of clothesline you. Are you using parry or dodge?
I'm using parry.
Okay, they run up and pump.
I just
Bounce
put my
off and
hand
fall.
out and just watch them trying to run. Because that'll help for what I want to do next.
They got 0 successes on you.
Excellent.
Like a guy comes up and is like,
No, last time someone tried to hit him, the big guy threw someone at him. I'm just gonna not do that.
yep. All right, Scott.
All right.
You'll probably end it on this roll.
Strength athletics, just to kind of work my way around the room. I'm just gonna collect all the hats and then be like, I'm in charge. I got all the hats.
That works.
So just starting with the guys that I've got the hand on. I'm just gonna take their hats using the athletics to bounce around the room and collect all the hats.
All right.
Do I get a stunt for that?
Yeah.
That's 2, right?
Yeah.
5.
Yep. So you get everybody's hats, and there's this moment where they pause.
I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm in charge. Shut up, sit down, and stay here.
They're all like,
And then I'm gonna smile at Dan, like, see what I did?
You see that I'm conflicted.
Aren't you proud of me?
Oh, man.
a couple of them sit down. And they're like, Something familiar about you. Pushing the corner.
No, I'm ushering us out the door.
Okay. Like one of them, one of them's looking really closely and like he's smelling the air after the, everything. It's like,
I take one of the hats and nail him in the head with this.
twang!
Hey, that was mine.
Metal hat.
And I dump. This is in a tower, right?
Yeah.
All the weapons I collected, like as I'm pushing them out, I'm sort of using the halves to
Push him.
collect the pair of them.
Okay.
And as soon as we're out the door, over the edge.
I'm keeping the hats.
Okay.
I'm wearing as many as will fit all over me.
Shoulder pad hats. Hats for the shoulder pad hats. Okay.
And I'm
So
just
you guys
regal
walk
as
out
fuck.
into the courtyard, is where you end up because you're on the inside now,
Yep.
the courtyard side, and there's other guards going about their business, and like as soon as they see him, they come to salute.
Carry on.
Yes, sir.
As we're walking, I come and I whisper behind you. I say, if anyone asks you a question, no matter what it is, stare at them and yell, "That's a stupid question."
I can do that.
I'm walking behind him. I'm like taking off the hat I have, taking one of his and replacing it and go, kind of the Jack Sparrow thing. Now this hat doesn't work. This one doesn't work either. Just doing that.
As long as I have the same number of hats, I'm okay with him doing that.
Well, I have larceny and stealth. You probably can't see me doing it.
That's another reason I'm okay with you doing that. I have a pretty good perception, though.
Yeah. So now that you're in the courtyard,
Yes.
this fortress is fairly immense. And it's like continues on up the mountainside. There is large buildings that are fairly extensive in scope. There are also large open areas, and the main pathway is actually fairly broad. And you are seeing a lot of different styles of siege equipment here. Strangely enough, none of them are made of wood.
Bone?
For the most part, these are made of bone. Some of them are made of flesh.
Yay.
I have an idea. I'm going to pick out two of the better-looking people milling around.
The guards.
Yeah. You two, come here.
Yes, sir. What is your orders?
I'm going to look at these two. I was like, these two just ain't cutting it. I need you two to join them. I need you guys to lead me to the commander's chambers. I have an important report.
Ah, the mistress of Flint and Bone?
Yes, take us to her. Me to her. These are my other guards, but they're just not good enough for me. I need a grand entrance.
Of course, sir.
I
They
look
turn.
pitiful.
Yep, they turn and they start marching forward. Obviously we are important because we are now the guards of this man.
See, guys, it all works out.
I like his hat. Sneak up, switch hats.
They lead you towards a
And we don't get a search.
pretty extensive warehouse-looking building. And as you're walking up, you can see it's all the windows are covered, but you can see sort of through little gaps in the metal coverings or whatever. You can see little gaps of flashes of light coming from inside. They are generally a whitish blue in color. Although there is also occasional more spark colored, so more of a reddish white kind of color, whitish yellow, somewhere in there.
I'm getting the fairy godmother from Shrek vibe here.
So this is the place, apparently.
That's where they're leading you to.
Okay. So when we get there, we'll be like, all right, you two.
To us guys.
No, not to you guys.
The two guards.
To the guards.
As we walk by that place, I'm gonna activate my.
No, we're walking to that place.
You're walking to that
Not
place.
by
Oh,
that
okay.
place.
That's what you're going to.
Okay,
They're
sorry.
leading you to the front door.
I'm activating keen sight technique
Okay.
You're like,
since we're in a new
No.
scene.
I need you to stay here at the door. Do not come in,
Mhm.
no matter what you hear. Do not let anyone else in.
Of course, sir.
The mistress and I kind of have a history. So I'm going in with these two. He's my fluffer, he's my condom guy. And you two just make sure no one comes in and you don't come in.
They're like
I
getting,
reach into my pockets, continuing to look pitiful.
there are three guys at the entrance to this giant warehouse. There is some kind of strange like tracks on the ground that lead into this building. They seem to be like some kind of metal rails. And the three guys are sitting by the door.
Fight Thomas?
There's one of them with like a pretty elaborate pipe. There's one of them that is got a pretty magnificent beard and looks fairly old. And then the third one has a like huge fedora, and you can't see his eyes underneath it. And those three are standing guard.
Two things I would like to do.
Well, they're not actually standing guard. They're kind of
actually just
slouching
one
guard.
thing I'd like to do. Walk up and I'm going to take the pipe.
Um,
And just be like, I want that.
So you reach for the pipe, and he kind of does that kind of motion, and it vanishes.
Hey, I said I wanted that. Do you see these hats? Here, give me your hat. You're demoted. And they take his hat.
We're gonna actually have to do a contested roll for that.
Okay.
So it's gonna be your brawl attempt against his dex plus dodge.
I'm also going to try to steal the guy's fedora, do the whole switcheroo again. I like his hat a lot better.
He actually has a specialty. Or,
Um,
well, he's gonna use an intimacy for this.
well, I have a specialty in brawl since I'm using brawl.
Okay, what's your specialty?
Brawl or grappling.
Grappling.
Would that work?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, since this is a contested and it's basically we're both pulling at the hat, does my mighty through count?
No,
No.
because this is him trying to dodge and you trying to catch a hold.
Okay. Uh, 10. I really want this hat, so I am going to use my reflexive, which is where is it? Thunder's Might, which allows me to re-roll fails on a feat of strength. Is this considered
Not
a feat?
really.
feat?
It's not a
No.
feat of strength. But it doesn't matter.
Okay, 10 successes.
Yeah, you beat him by exceptionally. So he's like dodging back, like doing sort of a backflip thing, and you just whip it off of his head as he's going, and he stops and he's like,
Now, if you give me the pipe, I might give you a lesser hat and give you at least a hat.
the three of them, like, you can see the this was the guy with the pipe you took.
Yeah.
Okay, so the guy
Because I demoted
the guy
him
with
for
the
not letting me
fedora.
have the pipe.
The guy with the fedora, you can see, has like a brace of knives in both hands, but he stopped. And the old man, kind of the older one, kind of like peeks at the three of you, like pulls out some spectacles and puts them
Yeah.
on, and then he opens the door.
Yep.
They're really there.
No, these guys are the same. They're the same as the ones you've seen so far.
Okay.
I'm still gonna try to steal.
And
I
then
walk in
he
ahead
bows.
of everybody.
He bows and says, "The soldat, welcome you, great princess."
I acknowledge the welcome, and I enter the room first.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for the pipe.
He reaches into his robes. And...
Take the pipe, and I'll give him a beanie. And then I walk in. It was a nice pipe.
Walk up to the guy with the fedora and go, "Hey, you want my hat? I'll trade you." Yeah, okay. I'll just steal it when I come back.
All right. So you walk into this warehouse. It is not quite pitch dark in here, but there are no lights. And because of it being indoors, the moon has no light here, and besides which, the moon has seemed kind of weaker here anyway. The building is filled with both crates and some kind of large constructs. There is a very long piece. There's actually like racks of these very long pieces. They look like some kind of ladder or something like that are like stacked in racks all along one wall. And you can see sort of a purplish light in the center of the room that looks like it's coming from like a hooded lantern or something like that, or like a miner's lantern, and it's looking down onto another one of these constructs. And you can see hands working with something that is glowing wherever it's being touched by this light.
I'm gonna get as close a look at this as I can.
Oh yeah, you have your awareness charm on.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be taking a negative. I think it's 3 is the biggest for the darkness in here.
I have
So,
infravision.
oh, you do.
Yeah,
Okay.
insight technique.
Keen sight gives you it. I think it takes 1 away from that penalty, doesn't it? Pretty sure keen sight only takes 1 off of that penalty, so it'll be a -2.
Okay.
I'm gonna check for traps.
I'm gonna check for traps.
Yeah.
So you're gonna use perception plus awareness. And again, you're taking that -3 as well, unless you have keen sight or something equivalent.
And I'm going to activate frugal merchant method.
Judge the value of these.
Yeah. Well, the quality.
Oh, the quality. Okay. Two.
Because I don't have the double 9.
All right. And then the frugal merchant just gives you an instant.
The exact quality of how good this is.
These, like you. Okay. So the keen sight gives you a little bit better idea. You're able to judge sort of the outlines of things. And you figure out these are rib cages with the arms still attached. It's basically the backbone, no head, attached to another backbone, and the arms are still attached to them. And there's just this long chain of them. And the ligaments are still largely attached. They're currently not moving. You're guessing with whatever it is that's keeping these together, whatever it is that person over there is doing, whatever it is she's making, these are very fine quality. And to be able to, like, you can see sutures in a couple places, and they're perfect. So whatever this is, that is very finely done by a master craftsman. Or perhaps craft person, as it was mistress of plate and bone.
Mm-hmm.
And there are just racks of these up in this wall. So there are several deep and tall.
I do have my spirit detecting glance activated, but I'm just waiting on these guys.
With spirit detecting glance, you are getting you're seeing sort of the remains. So like when somebody dies, their spirit generally leaves their body, but the body has its own spirit as well, sort of a low spirit,
Okay.
and you're seeing just piles of these attached to each other, like the spirit themselves are sewn together.
I got 5 on the check for traps.
Even with the -3?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, you're looking around. There does not seem to be anything designed to like activate like pressure triggers or anything like that. Those things over there look dangerous. Like something about them just tells you that they're kind of dangerous, but you're not sensing that they're gonna do anything to you specifically. So it's not really a trap, although, you know, it could be an enemy or some sort if somebody decided to make it that such.
Okay.
I don't know. You're not really familiar enough with these to really tell what they can do or what they're for or who made them, other than that person probably over there.
Okay.
I'd like to take a pull on my pipe.
Okay. It's very strong. Your stamina is
I
also
cough
very
loudly.
strong. Yeah. Your stamina is also very strong, but
It is 5.
it has a weird effect, especially with spirit detecting glance going on. Now all the spirits are like psychedelic colors.
I like this. I knew it was a good putt.
Like deep weed.
Yeah. You get the feeling. Well, what's your occult? You actually have a dot in occult now, don't you?
One or
I
two
actually have
dots.
2 dots in occult.
Roll intelligence. Actually, perception plus occult.
Actually, the dice pool for that.
I would have had a dice pool of 4 for intelligence occult. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You're pretty sure that this whatever it is would give you the equivalent of spirit detecting glance while you were under its influences.
Cool.
You would be able to see spirits just by smoking this pipe. But it's having weird like mixing effects with what you already have going. So it's causing like
I'm gonna
extra effects to happen.
elbow Otto
Double
and
engine,
be like,
double images and stuff.
take a pull on this.
His eyes are pretty dilated. And also, like you can see, like you know
You
how
wanna pull?
like cats have that or animals have that backlit kind of thing. Like when there's the flashes of light, you can see that in his eyes now.
He took a pull.
Okay, yeah, Tim. It's not as effective as
You'll
spirit
see
detecting
shit.
glance, so you're not seeing it in its perfect form, but you are seeing like the trace lines of the spirits.
So, ghosts.
Yeah, ghosts.
I'm seeing ghosts.
You're
He is
seeing low
the-
ghosts.
Yeah.
And they are attached to each other
I'm seeing ghosts.
in a chain. All over that wall, there's just groups of them lined up together, sewn together. It's actually in this case, because you're seeing it in the spirit form, it's kind of like a terrifying human centipede kind of thing.
I think this is how they did Fantasia.
I was refraining from using that term, but yeah.
It's not really that way normally because their heads aren't attached, as far as the skeletons are concerned. But yeah.
Huh.
Well, let me borrow that some other time. Man. That's good stuff.
I will approach towards her.
Okay. As you get closer, you can see that she is wearing some very fine clothing. You can only really tell through the light of this light on her forehead. It has an interesting shape that is sort of a ring, a bit thick, and get it right. Yes. The bottom half is filled in, and it's a purplish light that's coming out of it. So kind of like that, and it's shining down on from some kind of lens on her forehead. So she's wearing like some kind of elaborate tiara kind of thing, with a lens in the center of it that's shining this light down.
And the flashes of light occur when?
While she's doing stuff, like she starts, like you can tell right now she's sewing, and so nothing much is happening. But then
As soon as she ties the last knot,
she ties the last knot, and then like puts out a hand, and there's like a flash of lightning, and it crackles like down her arms. There are, like, when she sets down the needle to do this, what she does, you see like a little crab-like looking creature like comes and grabs the needle, and then she would like hold her hand out, and it puts it back in her hand, and she starts sewing again. And you can see part of her clothing is actually moving. It seems to be certain like little automatons of some sort, because they don't seem to really have any recognizable anatomy.
This chick is weird.
She's wearing a like
No, I
full
think that's the
corset
pipe.
with lots of frills.
That's probably the pipe.
Very fine, rich garments around and underneath. They are. It's kind of hard to tell what colors because the only illumination here is purple, and then occasional flashes of lightning. But you definitely get a hint of rich colors to it. And of course the tiara. Her hair is unruly, but it looks like it used to be in some kind of elaborate like braid kind of thing, bun or something. And she's got large like steampunk style goggles on. As
Just
you
gonna walk. I also walked up with him. I just got the pipe in my. I'm not like token on, but it's just like in my mouth. And
stop right there, please.
I do so.
I'd wondered when you'd come. She looks up.
To the panel.
I don't bow. I have too many hats to be bowing.
She like puts an elbow down on the work and she's like, "Boys, it's been so long. Like, at least." Gotta check this number real quick. It has been at least 1,518 years,
That's
5
a very
days,
specific estimate.
3 hours, and 12 minutes.
No months.
No, that's the start of the year. I mean, after all, we were separated during the usurpation, and I mean, these numbers are of course not exact. I mean, I have to base them on the very, very fallible calendar of these days, and you know they kind of lost track of things during the Great Contagion, but it's pretty close. And I think that's where we're going to end this episode.
Okay, cool. This episode's over. Have a nice day, everyone.